with your girl Shema Ladd, your personal development and premarital life coach. Okay, I hope you guys saw my little short I posted. I know it was just a short and it hasn't been a whole full video, okay? But you saw that your girl did get on the plane. I have made it here to Africa and I am here. Okay, so y'all don't be mad at me because I haven't been posting, okay? But first time in Africa, so I'm learning some things, okay? And we're gonna start with the internet, okay? So things move a little slowly here. Even when it comes to uploading my videos, it takes a little longer to upload, and the connection doesn't stay stable all the time. So when I'm in my YouTube back office and I'm doing all the extras that I need to get the views, to meet the CEO requirements, it takes a very long time. Okay, you guys. So I am working on it. I do have some content for you guys. I do have some good things for you guys. And so just be patient with me, okay? So I am in Ghana. It's been a wonderful experience so far. And I have some things to talk to y'all about. So first of all, thank you guys. Thank you to all of you who have been sending in your donations, who have been purchasing products, all of you that have been sending your support. And I am getting close to time to where you will see me handing out the blessings from Help Me Out community, right? So that's going to be exciting, and I'm going to show it to you guys real time. That's going to be exciting, okay? I'm trying to see where to start with y'all, guys. It's so much. I got some stuff coming for y'all. It's so much, I promise you. Okay, so let's start with well, there's some other things. So for y'all diaspora who are trying to relocate, repatriate, all the things that you heard is true, because when I did my homework and I did my research, I heard everything that was going on, and I can verify it is true. So we did start with the Wi-Fi, yes. Water, yes, not stable. It'll be on sometimes and then it's off. And sometimes I went a whole entire night, half a day, no water, and then it'll come back on. So that is something that you guys will have to be ready to deal with. I haven't had any issues with the electricity part. That has been pretty stable. In Ghana, Accra, I'm actually in the Spintex area. And so, and getting ready for a fashion show. This is the fashion show weekend in Ghana. So I'll be there tonight, and made some really great connections, you guys. And for those of you who love Lorraine Wright, I got to meet her, hug her, and have some conversations, and I'll be meeting with her again. So I'll post a photo here. And for all of you guys who love the Marvel movies, I didn't think I would meet this person. It wasn't even on my radar, okay? But went to this business networking and met the guy responsible for the tech graphics for a lot of the Marvel movies from Africa. He's from Ghana specifically, and he said, quote, "When I moved to America, I promised God if I ever made it big in Hollywood, I would come back to Africa and I would bring it back to Africa." So hopefully he will continue working on the Hollywood movies and things like that. But he's here back in Ghana, and he's bringing all his tech knowledge, all his graphic design, all of that back to the youth of Africa. So that's what he's here to build. There's a lot of professional diaspora that came here to build. There's also a lot of medical professionals, doctors, nurses, psychologists, psychiatrists. I will also be meeting with them in the next 2 weeks, right? And I'm telling you guys this because you've been watching me and the things I've been talking about, coming back to build our own country. You've heard how I said I felt. I literally just watched this video last night. You guys, I like the twins hangout. They're over in Kenya, but their hangout, and they were discussing that. They were discussing that last night, just about even though them folks complaining, not understanding how you work and put so much of your work, so much of your time into a country, into a city, into a job, and you have nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. Okay, so I told you guys, I'm not building America no more. The ancestors, we built that, and now I want to build this. Okay, and if you remember my book, What Future Me Told Past Me, type in if you remember what my book is about. Okay, abuse, neglect, exploitation. It is a memoir. So the things I've learned and seen here so far, you guys, has been heavy on me emotionally, very heavy on me spiritually, with the kids. And so what I've been learning as I've met with educators, people from all kind of different backgrounds, spas. I met with some people with a nail spa. Hopefully, when we're done with our meetings, I'll be able to train youth who want to get into nails, who want to make that extra income. So I am here doing the groundwork, y'all, doing what I said I was going to do. Let's pause here, please, y'all. Hit the like, subscribe, share button. Okay, share, so they can get this content out. Okay, and go to my website, futuremepro.com, purchase you some products. If you look down in the description, my PayPal is there, my Cash App is there. If you wanted to get directly to Africa, though, because that's where I'm at right now, I recommend you send it through PayPal, because Cash App is not here, and the way, you know, everything is set up, some of the money will come through different avenues, y'all. So for here, Africa does do PayPal. We can do PayPal if you want the funds to hit directly, or go through my website, purchase your products, and it'll get here to Africa that way. That way I have access, and you can see me divvy out what you give. I definitely want to get to the kids and give the kids cash, you know. So I'm excited about that. That'll put a smile on their face. And yeah, God is good, y'all. God is good. God is good. Okay. So if for those of you who've read my book and you understand future me, past me, as I met with, let's start with the Uber drivers. The Uber drivers explained to me that during holiday seasons here, a lot of kids come up missing. Like now is we're coming up on Dirty December. Okay, and for y'all that are coming in just for Dirty December, I got blessed. I got lucky, because the people who are actually putting that on, who actually come here every year to set everything up, to organize everything, they're actually staying at the hotel I'm staying at. So that's how I'm gonna tell y'all how funny and how good God is, because I've met the top clothing designers here in Ghana and Africa as a model. Y'all know I be all over the place doing everything. And so I've met some really key players, you guys. And so I did do the business networking with African Diaspora Resource Center. For some of you that are using the African Diaspora Resource Center, their business networking event was very elegant, very classy, very lovely, well put together. and I really enjoyed them. Okay, so African Diaspora Resource Center is a good resource center. They really get you connected. They bring you all the real good information that's going to keep you on track so you don't get scammed and you don't get taken advantage of. So they are absolutely, they've been amazing, okay? But back to the subject at hand. The Uber driver was telling me that they disappeared around this time. A lot of molestation, a lot of rape, trafficking. And that broke my heart, right? And so then I'm talking to some of the educators, and the educators are telling me they have a whole list specifically of kids that are at home getting molested and abused. But the kicker is they tell the kids don't say nothing and no one reports it because there's no support for the children. Do y'all hear me? There's no support for the children. Meaning, even if you call the police, even if you report it, they always take the parent's side. They will go to the parents and they'll tell the parent what the child said, and they'll leave the child there. I'm going to tell you guys something. When I was in high school, junior high school, in Las Vegas, Nevada, you know, I had my little friend girls, and one of my friends, my close friend, we're still close friends till today. She just texted me on Facebook the other day, and one of her neighbors, his grandfather was sodomizing him, and the mom was not well. And so finally the mom came one night and the son told the mother what her father, his grandfather, had been doing. The mother cussed out her father and left her son there with her father. Do you not know, my hand before God, when that woman left, that man went and sodomized that boy one more time, released all over his back, took a shotgun, not even a pistol, and blew a hole in that boy's back and killed her son, his grandchild, unalived her son, his grandchild. I kid you not. So the lack of understanding, the lack of compassion, the lack of support, the lack of well-structured systems for children here is severely lacking. And that's what they do here. They leave the children with the perpetrators, the pedophiles. That breaks my heart, you guys. And so as I'm learning this information, I come back to my hotel where I'm at now, and I'm talking to one of the owners, the wife, and I'm asking her about these things. She says it happens all the time. I said, what? She said, I literally today, this was a few nights ago, 2 nights ago to be exact, and she says, just today, a woman came to me and said she couldn't find her kids. They went to work because it's normal for them to let the kids go out and work, and then they come home. You let them go work alone, and then they come home. Well, this mother said, when you're finished, go with my friend, you know, and they had their plans. Well, the kids didn't go with the friend. She lost 2 kids in one whop, y'all. Not one child, 2 in one whop. And it had already, when she came and told her that, it had already been one full day. One full day already. She lost 2 kids in one whop. And It was really, really heartbreaking. And it's the issue here, y'all. It's the issue here. So I have submitted my book to a couple of professors to review. I do want to get these books into the hands of some of the teenagers here, some of the young adults, because you know it's a workbook. They can do that work, y'all. They can figure out what's wrong that ain't nobody telling them. What's wrong, because this don't feel right. They can identify their gifts, their skills, their talents. They can become closer to the Lord and build that spiritual relationship. Hold on and build a soul. And so it's the perfect book. It's the perfect timing. And if we get that system set up here, we can duplicate it across the continent, because it's rampant. I just want to give you guys that insight and that information. It is a colonial mindset, because it's not just something that's going on here in Africa. It's going on in the U.S. for sure, because I wrote a whole book about it. Where the adults see but you don't see. You see but you don't see. Right? You see but you act like you don't see. You hear but you act like you didn't hear that. So, speaking with Professor Lumumba, of course, he's really on this book, Reparations, right? So, Professor Lumumba, if you see this video, I read the book, I finished the book. It was really, really, really good. Okay, it helped me to fill in some gaps that I was missing, that I didn't understand, right? So this is what the African leaders are really pushing. This is what they're asking us to read and understand. So this book is by Kwesi Pratt Jr. And it speaks about breaking those mindsets of colonization. And what were those mindsets when colonizers came here? Shut up and don't say nothing. While they castrate you and do all these other things, shut up and don't say nothing. Because if you do, it's going to be worse for you. If you keep talking, we're going to go harder and harder and harder on you. That's a colonial mindset. That's a slave control tactic. To let you know, stay silent or it's going to be worse. So much so that they're still doing it to each other here. And you guys heard me before when I went through everything I went through with my father. And I had aunts, I had cousins, I had family members basically telling me to be quiet. While somebody takes from me, steals from my family, defends my character. And if you don't, it's going to be worse for you. And it didn't sit well, right? It didn't sit well with me. And so it is about breaking those colonial mindsets, y'all. It is about breaking those colonial mindsets. Even the way you discipline your children, even the way you handle and advise your family members. Are you advising your children? Are you advising your family members to sit silent? Say nothing. And if you do say something, what they say? They label you crazy. Where did they get that from? Where do you see that at? You see it all in Hollywood. When you see the celebrities running down the streets, hollering they trying to kill me. When you see the celebrities, you know, look at Jamie Foxx. He said Diddy tried to kill me. He said Diddy tried to kill me. Y'all remember when Martin Lawrence was running down the street telling y'all he was trying to kill him? Look at all the celebrities. When the devil takes your soul, you don't get it back unless by death. And if you say something, what they do to Britney Spears? She crazy. What they do to Wendy Williams? She crazy. When my father passed, you know what they said about me? She crazy. Where did that come from? All the celebrities, they up there with who? Colonizers. Who running that whole show? Colonizers. And what kind of mindset do they have? Colonizing, right? So you guys have to pay attention when you're looking at these things, and you're looking at what kind of decisions are you making? What kind of choices are you making? Why did you make that choice? Why did you make that decision? Why did you give that advice? So taking your time to really think about the why and where did it come from, right? Where did that come from? And so a lot of the diaspora, a lot of especially, USA citizens, when you hear the African leaders saying come home, they saying it for a reason. When you're saying come home or you won't have no home, they saying it for a reason. Okay, so now at this point, I have to look at, and you have to consider, and you have to look at, why are there bad presidents in Africa? Why are there bad leaders in Africa? Why? And I'm telling you right now, a lot of it, it's not just the colonial mindset. That's a big part of it. But it's what the colonial mindset, the after effects that it left. You can't have an enormous amount of families and people molesting and raping and their kids, and then you tell the kids to be silent because that's your future. That's the future leaders. And then you have Africans here, when they vote for presidents, when they vote for leadership, they don't want anybody unless they're African, right? But what have they most likely been through? Abuse, neglect, rape, molestation. And that's the pool that you have to pull from. And you pull from that pool and you say, yes, lead us. Mental health is not at the top of the list here, y'all. Mental health, emotional wellness is not at the top of the list here. It's not. And that's disturbing. Because what you're looking at is leaders and people who were told not to say nothing, to be silent, to sit quiet. Like when I look at Ramaphosa in South Africa, now I have to ask, because the way he acted in front of Trump, like an intimidated child almost. He sat silent and said nothing in the presence of his colonizer. And then it was more incidences, but it makes me question, what else are you not saying because you were told to stay quiet? What pain are you carrying that you say it's not pain because you made it through? But it's still affecting how you make your decisions. It's still affecting, how you advise. Would you guys say that's an issue? Type your answer in below. How many of the African presidents and leaders are you looking at? And it's not just the women. I mean, it's the men too. And I had one of the hotel staff was explaining to me that he has a couple of guy friends who were being molested as children, and it still impacts them till this day, and they grown. So please don't overlook boys and young men out of this scenario, because they will more likely not say nothing than a girl. Now, a girl might speak up and try to say something, but a boy won't say nothing at all. And that's the most that's more dangerous to me than anything. They carry some things inside that they really need another man to talk to about. But if you can't go to the military and you can't go to the police and you can't tell anybody, because if you do, it will be worse. What do you do? But if they have my book in their hand and they go somewhere quietly and they begin to read and they begin to question and they begin to look and see how she did that. She looks so different. She thinks so differently now. How do you go from all these negative situations to growth and wellness and positivity? How? It's going to take diaspora to unlock that. And that's not saying there aren't good educators here, people who want to try, people, but there's not a large amount of us here. Okay, guys. And another thing this staff told me is sometimes you can meet a woman here. You can meet a young girl, a young lady here. You might want to date her or court her, but she'll tell you no because she's in a relationship with her father. Made my stomach become nauseous. And that's kind of normal here. And I asked them, well, is it really normal? They said, no, it's not. And then the next question was, so if the government really literally knows this, why isn't anybody doing anything? So you guys, we're working on filling that gap. We're going to work on changing that and seeing what we can do to help save these kids and give them a voice so that they can grow, so that they can be a part of those programs that we spoke of at the business networking meeting. Doctors, nurses, psychiatrists, all of you guys, medical professionals that are coming here, I am requesting, I am requiring, I am demanding, I am begging you. When you do your discharge teachings, when you discharge your patients and you're doing your discharge teachings, you're doing your patient teachings, you're doing your patient assessments, you're collecting your demographic information, it needs to include home safety. Do you feel safe at home? Do you feel secure at home? Are you being violated? And not just to the children, to the parents. Please give discharge information on the appropriate relationships between adults and children. Because they won't admit what they're doing. You can have a male patient sitting on your table, in your presence, and they just got through sleeping with their own child 4 or 5 hours before they came to see you. They'll never tell you that. Automatically give out information, the appropriate relationships between children and parents. So it begins to sit in their mind every time they leave that doctor's office, that somebody is aware that it's not right, that somebody is looking and paying attention, that this is what we're telling kids and adults when you come into this doctor's office, that we are trying to address this, we are trying to bring awareness to this. And kids, when kids get that, it's going to be before their eyes. This isn't right. This isn't right. The doctor said this, the nurse said this, the psychologist said this, the health professional said this. That needs to be at the forefront. One of the things at the forefront of your teaching and your training. And I believe once that begins to become a constant, a consistent here, it'll begin to change the mindsets, because it's always set before their face and their eyes. Molestation and rape of children is wrong. That needs to be in your teaching. That needs to be in your patient teaching. No matter what the chief complaint was, no matter what they're coming in there for, they should automatically be getting that. Because people are walking around hiding it and not saying nothing. Address the unspoken issue if they won't. Address the unspoken issue. Okay, guys, if you're supporting this and you have a heart for children, please type in and comment, save the children, save the children, save the children. Please type in the comments, save the children. Okay, so all of you that like to come here and visit, when you see these kids, it's nice to see them dance. It's nice to see them laugh. It's nice to have them come up to you and sell you products. But when you look at them, just don't look at them as they selling products. Because these children are carrying more than just poverty. They're carrying a whole lot more than what you think. So keep that on your mind, you guys, when you're visiting Africa. That weighed on me really heavy last night. It weighed on me so heavy I had to do a lot of praying. I really had to go in the spirit, y'all, to find consolement, and peace. I really did. So you guys, get this book, Reparations by Kwasi Pratt Jr. This is what the continent is on right now as we are preparing for reparations. We're preparing not just the continent of Africa to receive reparations, but all of the diaspora to receive reparations. And from the conversation of this video, we're due reparations. Africa is due reparations. Decolonization is at the forefront, whether you're in Africa or whether you're around the world diaspora. We have been bombarded with them folks and their ways and their lack of repentance. Okay? And the time is here. The time has come. So, that book is really good, you guys. Go support it. And just talking about that took energy from me. I'm sorry, y'all. Just talking about that took energy from me. So I'm gonna let y'all go on that one here on Help Me Out. And stay tuned for the next video. And I love you guys.